The Business Journal Roundtable Series is sponsored by iSynergy, creative digital advertising.
So, Marlon, you said you're on a state board, and we have leaders of our local real estate realtors association. How do you push the politicians? How do you push for compliance on the issues that you think need to be dealt with?
Well, I think the thing is, it's more so one of the driving forces. I mean, with the National Association of Realtors and even the Ohio Association of Realtors. I mean, Ohio Realtors now. I'm going back a few years, but I think that it's something that we are very good at. We are very good at going to our politicians, and I think they do listen to us. You know, and when we have bills that are up in front of the state that would help, or national things that are going to help home ownership and private property rights, that's one thing that I think that the National Association of Realtors and Ohio Realtors does very well, promoting that and trying to implement what everybody's been talking here. You know, I'm a coordinator through NAR to one of the Congressman Johnson, and I can tell you, Congressman Johnson always listens. When we were having some issues with financing over in East Palestine over there, and I called him on his phone, and boy, they were right on it, and they really did an amazing job, his staff, which I have to give kudos. You know, we were having praisers, didn't know what to do, and things, and got us in contact with HUD and tried to get answers there, and it all seems to be filtering out. But again, having politicians quitting, I hate to use this word, maybe lip service, but actually doing what they're supposed to, you know, what we need around here.
It's going to be more impactful on a local level.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be on a local level, and even on a larger scale. A perfect example is, my company has an account for HUD, so we actually are sell HUD properties. One of our agents, HUD right now does not rehab the entire house from top to bottom before it goes back on the market. Every single home that HUD takes back and forecloses on, we have 15 properties right now that agent's doing. He's rehabbing all 15 properties. New paint, new carpet, new everything. And these are even properties that you would look at as a real estate person and say, okay, this is not, fiscally responsible, for HUD, because they're putting more, into the properties than what they're worth. But, one of their motivations is to revitalize the neighborhoods. So that's coming straight from HUD. Whether it's, a mid-range property that they're completely rehabbing, or whether it's a very low price market area, they're still going in and putting tens of thousands, completely rehabbing, making the homes beautiful, regardless of the investment and the return, to stabilize the market. So that's happening on HUD right there on a national level, I'm sure, but we're seeing it locally.
So there's a difference there too, though. Those are homes that HUD has taken back. Mm-hmm. The homes that you had talked about where, maybe they're going up for sale for tax sales, where
those are different financial institutions.
Different. So in those homes, chances are
they're not
aren't going to be financeable just because of the conditions. And then
yes.
So the only option there is for either a cash buyer or for the investors to come in and buy them.
Yeah, that's the difference with the HUD homes and the other, pretty much, other financial, national mm-hmm. and local financial mm-hmm. institutions.
And that made a difference back in 08, in 09. When you saw the huge glut of foreclosures, there were a lot of banks that they would sit on houses.
You and I were there.
Yeah.
I mean, I was actually the president of REO for a local First Place Bank.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, bankers or financial institutions, they did not want to hear. Me, I would sit there and say, hey, let's put $10,000 into this property. I could make you, 20 or 25. And that was unheard of. Yeah. The mentality was, oh my God, we can't do that. Yeah. But here we are today. And not only did, they adopted that while I was, mm-hmm. with First Place Bank and other financial institutions with the REO. And now here we are today, more banks, more financial institutions are doing that than ever before. Yeah.
The Business Journal Roundtable Series is sponsored by iSynergy, creative digital advertising.